Welcome, professional wrestling fans, to another episode of the PW Fan, the ultimate pro wrestling podcast created by fans for the fans. This is episode 150, and I am your host, collector, barber, musician, and most importantly, a professional wrestling podcaster, Talk Wrestling, Tim Gilbert.
And I'm your host, the architect of pro wrestling podcast, Funko Pop collector, and Steelers fan, Andy.
I'm also the host of the No Selling Wrestling Indie fan and football lover, Jeremy.
Okay, well, before we get started on episode 150, I got to do this every week. I got to take you through the socials. You know, if you want to find us on X and Instagram and TikTok and all those things, just look up at the PW Fan and we should pop right up. We would really appreciate a follow. And most importantly, at least I kind of feel so, go to youtube.com/the PW Fan Pod so you can subscribe, like, comment, interact with us. That really helps us out a lot, and it's going to help us out in the long run. Shirts, go to prowrestlingtees.com/the PW Fan. Dan, we're going to have some new work for you here soon. We're planning some things. I got like 3 in the chamber, so be ready for us. Andy, I'm going to pass it over to you, Booker Sir, and take it from here. Tell us what we're going to do today.
All right, this week we're going to be talking about Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and we're going to be going through AEW's Wrestledream pay-per-view and more. So let's get started. Starting with Raw this week, we're going to do WWE first and then AEW because of Wrestledream. Raw this past week, I didn't even realize it because I watched later, but this was the first 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
Moving forward. Did they do 2 hours at all during the PG era?
They switched it.
They switched during.
I think it was during, and honestly, from what I remember, it's right around 2010.
Yeah,
wait, so
9 or 10.
So it was always 2 hours growing up, and then they switched it to 3.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Back to 2.
It was always 2. Nitro was 3. Which is
Yeah, it was
Nitro's the
2012
OG.
was when they switched to 3 hours.
That was 2012.
So it hasn't been a 2-hour episode in 12 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the 2-hour presentation. I think you're gonna get the greatest hits. You're cutting out all the fat. You're getting that good meat on the steak. You know, I want a filet mignon. I don't want a big T-bone with the big fat on the sides, and I gotta cut all that shit off.
Fat's the best part, though.
What?
Is it though?
Is it though?
I know AEW could be trim.
Jeremy likes that gristle,
right.
bro. Jeremy likes gristle up in this bitch, yeah.
So CM Punk though would open the show. This is the Raw after Bad Blood. He would come out. He would cut a promo, and he would thank his fans and friends, and even the people who don't like him. And he would say that he's unsure about his future. He would say, "I'm alive, but doesn't feel like it. I'm a winner, but I don't feel like one." He also said, "There's a thin line between love and hate, and I've turned your hate into cash. I don't know why you keep doubting me, but keep doubting me." On his way out, Seth Rollins would come out. They would pass by, have a little stare down. And the first thing he would say would be addressing Punk. He would say, "Get well soon, because the sooner you heal up, the sooner I can beat your ass and retire you for good." So, in case, I think this was like, hey, don't forget, this is where we're going. We're going with these two guys eventually.
Do you think it'll be for a title again?
I don't know.
By the time they do it?
I can't wait for Punk to be champion. It's got to happen.
I mean, it's only a matter of time.
Unless he's doing a Shawn Michaels run, and he's like, it'll be a great run, like no championships.
I don't think we got to talk about it, but I am genuinely loving the patched up. They might not even be like friends or whatever, but like the patched up relationship between Triple H and CM Punk. Like when they did the spot the other night for NXT where he had the gauze in his pants, and they were like, he's like, "I don't know, what do you think? Should I do it?" And he's like, "Oh, I think you should definitely do it." Like it was just funny. It was just funny to see them like be cool, and I was like,
but the whole time they were
awesome.
talking about Sean's hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like,
No.
it's just nice to see three of my favorite wrestlers get along and not have like some weird dumb beef, you know.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I sent you that. I was like, I know you're gonna enjoy Shawn, Triple H, and Punk.
It's almost like when you have like friends and you introduce them to other friends. You're like, you want them to all get along.
You want them to all like each other. Mixing two
Yeah.
friend groups. You know, sometimes you bring your work friends or your wrestling friends around your other friends, and then you're like, oh man, I don't know how this is gonna go. But the best is when you realize everybody's an adult and you're just drinking beers and chilling, and everybody's having a good time. That's the best.
Well, not Punk, but
Yeah,
When
Punk's
you're
not drinking.
you're drinking when you're drinking Diet Pepsi and having a good time with the bros, you know.
But back to Seth Rollins. So he's coming out and addressing Bronson Reed after costing Bronson Reed his match against Braun Strowman, and he said, "You want to get famous? I'll give you your 15 minutes." So he issued a challenge. Jey Uso would come out and interrupt him just because his match was coming up with Xavier Woods. But before we get into that, I wanted to address Dave Meltzer giving Punk and Drew McIntyre 5 stars.
Yeah.
But not
I mean-
Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at WrestleMania, which is
Okay.
crazy.
It is crazy. I agree. But I will say that
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter, but they did it in an era where the blood is so rare that it really stood out, you know? Like it was graphic for current WWE. Like I kept looking at Andy
So
being
it
like
says his rating was. It says his rating was largely due to the brutal, bloody spectacle that
That's what I'm
unfolded
saying.
inside the cage.
because it's so shocking because you haven't seen that in so long. And I mean, there was parts where I looked at Andy, like I would like look at him during the match. I'm like, are they gonna let this slide? Like, is the ref gonna come in and like start doing the thing where they put like the Vaseline and the towel? Because that was so annoying when they used to do that shit. Like,
yeah,
I think
that ruined it.
Oh yeah, it was.
So it
But they
says-
were
it
like
says
trying
here
to make it like
fans
a UFC fight, like a UFC fight, but it was like so lame.
Mhm.
It says here on Ringside News, as the news of the 5-star rating spread, fans and critics alike have been debating whether this could be considered the best Hell in a Cell match of all time. There's been
It could be,
all time,
but
up there,
but
top 3.
I
I
really
mean, definitely
think
top 3.
top 3, but I really want to encourage people. I believe it's Bad Blood 03 or 04, and I still
all
don't.
the Bad Bloods.
But I still don't fully understand why to this day why this match doesn't get like more love. Like the Triple H versus Shawn Michaels Hell in a Cell from like Bad Blood 03 04 is crazy. And it's the forgotten match. It's like the TLC that has like Chris Benoit and Jericho that was brutal that everybody forgets about. For some reason, that Hell in a Cell like no one cares about, and it is crazy.
You know
Shawn
why it's
Michaels-
so good, though, too, at the time? Is if you were in it, you knew. And you can watch that promo package. All the lead up for like 2 years between them two
it was a
from when Shawn
2-year
came back.
Yeah, it was a 2-year build up, and this was the final, like, no more rivalry of Shawn and
They had already done
And-
3 stages of hell. They'd done unsanctioned. Like,
Mhm.
they were in the chamber together twice.
They had the feuds, yeah. But yeah, that's for some reason that match I feel like gets really slept on. So yeah, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Hell in a Cell. But other than that, yeah, I mean this is like up there for me. And but God, dude, I'm sorry, the Brock and Undertaker one, that's another forgotten one, and that one's really good too. The
Is it
one
Brock
where
and Undertaker or Triple H and Undertaker?
No, Brock and Undertaker were Undertaker's bad American Badass Undertaker.
Oh, No Mercy or
yeah.
Unforgiven.
Dude, people always forget
02.
about that one.
Brock
That's
has the image of him on top of the cage.
And that's the one where
title.
Undertaker like is like pouring like a
He has
faucet.
the cast.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's been some
No,
good
it's-
ones.
it's
So
Big
that's
Evil
I guess this is a long way of saying is yeah, that's a big statement to say this is the best one ever. But I do think it holds up with some of the ones that
Best
we
in
just
recent
mentioned.
history.
Oh, I mean, easily.
Yeah. Um. So I did read. I forget who was writing it, but it was probably Ringside News. But I don't know who they got it from. Is that the plan moving forward for this kind of like bloodiness is like they'll do it, but they're not going to do it so frequently.
I don't want
Yeah.
them
It has to
to.
like mean something.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. You don't need to. I
But
again.
I'm
I
just
look
saying
at.
they're not against it anymore. You
But
know.
Yeah, that's good.
it's so cool to hear that because I literally looked at Andy before the match started and I said, "You think they're gonna bleed?" And then literally like a
Well, they
few minutes
fucking
in, I was like, "Damn, they're like bleeding, like old school."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew McIntyre was busted up, and like that was by accident that bad.
I was gonna say I don't think he meant to get that fucked up. It
Well,
was
Finn got
pretty.
messed up at WrestleMania by accident because of the ladder against Edge.
Yeah.
But let's move on to unless you got
Enough of the
something to add before we
brutality.
wrap up
No,
this part.
just Hell in a Cell rules, dude. It's one of my favorite
When done
WWE. When it's done right, it's one of my favorite gimmick matches. I like it.
So, like I said, though, Jay
better.
Uso.
I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy it way better than the escaping the steel cage kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was the dumbest thing.
Um, and as we know, like for some reason, these kind of matches, Punk just thrives.
I think he thrives when it's a serious
bloody
feud. Like
Harley Race
You
style.
gotta get down and dirty.
What would Harley Race? Yeah, what would Harley do? Brett, what would Brett do, dude? He wants. That's where he thrives.
Or I guess you would say when you need to make it like a fight, seem like a fight.
A fight and emotional.
does it.
He's really good at bringing the. And Drew did great too in this.
the
feud.
emotion.
Yeah. So like I said, though, Jey Uso interrupted Seth, and he had a scheduled match against Xavier Woods for his Intercontinental title, which he retained. Afterwards, Xavier Woods is still, turning heel slowly. He refuses to give Jey a sign of respect. And, well, last week when we talked about Braun Breaker possibly going babyface when he was nice to Jey, well, he came out of nowhere and speared Jey. So, Braun Breaker, they are holding. Meltzer, I think, I read that the plan was because it was everywhere that like he was kind of gonna eventually go babyface, but Meltzer said that they held off. They're holding off on it, obviously, because.
Is there something about Big E potentially being cleared?
He did say he needs a couple more months. I'm thinking if he is, it's going to be the Rumble, but
And that this storyline has to deal with it.
I mean that'd be dope.
Like Xavier turns and then he's. And
It's
then
about
Kofi
time.
Big E.
They really gotta do something. They can't keep riding the
You
New
just
Day
spent two
thing.
months
It's
so long.
dude. It's been 10 years more.
Yeah. Remember the Bootios? I actually have a box of Bootios.
So here's what's crazy. This is how I like calculate time. I've been at my current place of work for a little over 6 years. The New Day's been around for like 5 years before that, dude. So they've been around a long time.
So 11.
Yeah, at least.
Sheamus will end up defeating Pete Dunne in a good old fashioned Donnybrook match. It was a good match. I still like Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne's great.
Andy,
Sheamus
how's your
with him
stomach?
has been good, but my stomach's fine. God.
Okay, just was checking. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Thanks, bro. Gunther in the main event. Gunther would retain against Sami Zayn. Hopefully, Sami is done with that, and possibly maybe we'll see him help out with Roman, but more on that later.
Oh, now you're open to the idea.
I'm going through the list in my head. I'm like, there's no other ones that like, and the fans would like freak the fuck out.
Him and Jay.
Well, let's get into it. Jimmy Uso opens up SmackDown, and he would cut a promo. The fans are happy to see him back.
Also, I love his theme music more than Jay's, I think.
Yeah. Because it's
so
not,
much better.
is it a repeat? It's not a repeat over and over like Jay's also.
Yeah, no, it's not, yeah.
But he would cut a promo about being back. Roman Reigns would come out shortly after. There'd be a promo segment between them in which Jimmy was basically saying they need help. And he's like, I might know someone that would be down.
It's like,
And
there's one person.
Roman goes, no heat. And that was kind of the end of the conversation, but all the fans knew.
He should have said,
Why
"Not my
tease it if it's not going to
dogs.
happen.
Not my dogs.
Yeah, not my dogs.
My dogs. Hello, my dog, dude. He needs to be back in." Sammy,
if it's-
Sammy as the honorary use was the best Sammy ever was.
Yeah.
So War Games is 5 people, right?
Yep.
All right, so Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Cody,
Sammy.
Sammy.
So it's gonna be Sammy, dude. And it's
Now,
gonna
why
get-
bring The Rock back?
Let me tell you this right now. If Sammy gets back with the OG bloodline, the pop is gonna be crazy.
Well, that's what I was just saying. Tim's like, I can't
It's
wait for
full
this.
circle.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're talking about, are you guys about to talk about Sammy? God, I can't wait to talk about that.
So The Rock, I think I read today, The Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania 41. So why bring him back? if
He-
he's not
I
gonna be
don't
at
believe it.
He commented on
He'll
that
his
saying
ass will
that's
be
bullshit.
there. Dude, he'll
He
be
said
there.
it's bullshit? Okay.
Someone said on
Fact-checking.
like Twitter or Instagram saying like, "Hey, what's up with you not being there?" And he's like, "Don't believe all the bullshit."
So now he's saying, yes, I am going to be
First
there.
of all, the
I don't
Rock,
think he's saying either way.
he helps run the company, and I like the Rock, at least the character. If you think that he's gonna miss out on a chance to be in front of that many people
In Vegas.
flexing and smelling,
Smelling.
dude, he's gonna be there.
Smelling.
But also, like, why bring him back this early if he's not going to be in War Games? So it just...
He basically just came back and then he's gonna be gone
He'll just
until
be the last guy on that team. He'll be the final boss. The final boss comes in at the end.
Yeah, it comes in last.
And Roman comes in last. And
So he's like, basically they just have to get through the Saudi Arabia thing and then they can continue it.
yeah, so... And I'm sure there's going to be something that feeds into that from Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
But on that side, you would have Solo, Rock, Jacob, Fatu, and the Tonga brothers.
Yeah.
That's five. God,
Yeah.
fucking Tonga Loa, dude. All right. LA Knight defended his United States Championship successfully against Carmelo Hayes. And there was a women's match that was about to start, which KO would run out and take over the show. His mic would get cut, so he would get on commentary. Pretty much, he would call out Cody Rhodes. This was addressing why he attacked Cody after Bad Blood. Cody would come out, security would break it up. Randy Orton had to come out, and he got behind Kevin Owens and tried to hold him back. And KO threw a bow to Randy's head. Shortly after this, we'll get more into KO and Randy, but before that, Nia Jax with Tiffany Stratton cut a promo. Naomi would come out. Raquel, Liv, and Dominic would make an appearance on SmackDown because Liv is going against Nia at Crown Jewel. And then Naomi and Nia Jax would have a match in which all the ladies and Dominic would be at ringside. Naomi would end up defeating Nia Jax, though, because of all the chaos during the match. But back to Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. They released the security footage for the whole attack. Cameras found KO attacking Randy out back. So now KO has gone after Randy for what he was saying during the attack was picking, Cody's side. So KO is back to heel KO. What if he joined the other bloodline?
That wouldn't make sense, though, would it?
Nah. But I don't want to see KO and Cody again. We just got it.
Yeah. Well, it won't be till War Games. If they do it.
Yeah. The main event, though, was Solo Sikoa defeating Jimmy Uso. Afterwards, the Bloodline would attack, in which Roman Reigns would come out to try to help. But in the end, the Bloodline would stand tall, and the cameras would pan to Jimmy and Roman at the end. Jimmy going like, "We need help. We need help, Us." So hopefully this Friday, we get a little bit more answers. But that wraps up WWE for this week. I want to quickly get through Dynamite. I don't have anything for Collision because there was none because the pay-per-view was on Saturday. And I don't have anything for Rampage. So let's get into Dynamite before Wrestledream. Darby Allin would call out Brody King. They would have a promo segment in which Darby would talk about their time on the Indies and how they lived together and how Darby Allin, or they at least were on the road together, how Darby Allin told Tony Khan to they needed to sign Brody King. And was there anything else that was mentioned?
I was like,
oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm thinking.
that was a long pause there.
My bad. I think Brody King, Darby was saying that he's become the face of the place, and then Brody King said something about him either not being or not believing that he is.
I really like
Remember, Jeremy?
Brody King. Just real quick, I really like Brody King, and not just because I'm a fan of his band, God's Hate. But dude, he's a big dude. He's got a cool look, and I think if he can get the promos down and keep doing good with his in-ring stuff, I think he's got a future. That's just me personally, though. He's got cool look, big guy. That's the first two, steps right there to get you in the door.
So they had an upcoming match at Wrestledream, which would be the third time they've wrestled each other, I believe, in AEW. The reason why I took such a big pause is because I had the wrong note in the wrong section. It should have been in the next bullet point, which was Daniel Garcia would come out and discuss his future. There was some talk everywhere online about his new contract, and, of course, Tony Khan pays a lot extra money to keep people around. So Daniel Garcia is staying in AEW, and he said that all champions are on notice, which that will feed into Wrestledream and what happened with him there. Britt Baker was supposed to have a number one contenders match against Willow Nightingale.
Just real quick, I just want to say about the Daniel Garcia thing. Andy's about to shit his pants, but hang on. I'm just got one thing to say here. Tony Khan's offering you serious money to stay, or you take the pretty good money with an opportunity with NXT. I mean, I understand. You want to make some money, and you're going to take that deal. It's a hard thing to decide. I would like to see him in WWE eventually, but I can understand right now how if he keeps doing good in the future, he's only going to be worth more. But Andy, continue on. I know you got things to get to, toilets to run to.
I have toilets to
bowel movements to get to.
I have toilets to paint.
Bowels to eject.
That's such a gross way of putting it. But Willow and Britt were supposed to have a match in order to see who faces Mariah May at Wrestledream, but all they said was due to Britt Baker's illness, the number one contender match for Mariah May was determined in a fatal four-way. Willow, Saraya, Nyla Rose, and Jimmy Hayter.
Also,
the winner.
She had strep throat, by the way.
Is that what it was? Why not just say that? Why say in illness?
I don't know.
Is it doing the thing where
Willow?
Andy, is it doing the thing where it cramps and you're feeling like oh, might be right now?
Yo, I'm trying to get through the show and I don't want to talk about my shit. All right?
I was like, what are you talking about?
Willow did end up winning, and it makes me wonder though. Do you think Willow would have been meant to win, or do you think it was or do you think Britt was meant to win, or?
I think it was always gonna be Willow because then, she's not gonna win at the pay-per-view then too. If it was Britt.
Well, now there's a story there that Britt never got a chance to be the number one contender, and so then she can either do it again or
do it again.
Whatnot.
I mean, if they do it again, I think this time that she'll actually win because Mariah May has had nothing with her title reign.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's good. Mercedes Moné would retain her title against Emi Sakura. Speaking of Moné, I posted a video on TikTok There's a clip of us talking about what would Shane McMahon's music be if he came to AEW, and someone wrote, "Here comes the money," but it was like spelled like
That's funny.
just a little laugh. There was a confrontation with Will Ospreay and Don Callis.
That's
in
where
which
it's going. Shane's going to be the boss.
Yeah.
We'll get to it on the pay-per-view, but when they put that title in the bag, I was like, something's happening. I was like, it's going to happen soon. We'll get there. Keep going.
Will Ospreay and Don Callis would have a confrontation, which Kyle Fletcher in the end would try to break it up. I believe Takeshita would get involved as well. And then the main event was Bryan Danielson teaming up with Wheeler Yuta and defeating Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. Danielson would go after Moxley afterwards, and Wheeler would get attacked while Bryan comes back and makes the save. So let's get into Wrestledream. Now, I know, Tim, you did not get a chance to watch the 0 Hour, but I did send you pictures. Rico from WWE, manager to Billy and Chuck.
So sick.
Singles run himself.
Dude, so good.
He was paired up with MXM on the pre-show against the Acclaim and Daddy Ass. Daddy Ass was on the outside. Rico was on the outside.
I love it.
Attire.
The kids don't even the kids don't even understand how cool that is.
Yeah.
So before the match, Billy Gunn would get on the mic, and I can't remember if he was rapping or talking.
I can't remember that, but I remember Max Caster mentioning P. Diddy.
See, I missed the entire entrance, unfortunately. But
Jeremy,
he did say something about...
Jeremy, why don't you re-rap it for us? We'd like to hear. Here, you do it. And we'll listen.
I don't have it in front of me, so I can't do that.
He did say something about making him marry.
Oh, Andy has it. He can rap it.
No, I don't have the whole thing, but I do remember him saying something about making him, this guy, like, had him marry a dude. It's just, I don't know. It was weird.
So he said some, like, homophobic shit during it?
Or just make it seem like it's an issue.
I know, the way he just left it at,
Which is interesting because Anthony Bowens is gay.
He was like something about marrying a dude, and I was like, oh, so he was shitty
because
about
I literally, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said it in
No, I do remember that, though, because he does look at him and say, like, no offense, or whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, get to what, Anthony Bowens?
Yeah.
Clearly something like that they all talked about backstage. There's no problem.
Yeah, hopefully.
It was, I thought it was super fun.
If not, then I'm sure a conversation was had afterwards.
I thought it was super fun to see Rico for the people that knew.
Yeah.
He kind of did have a big pop. But also, I thought pairing him up with those two guys, MXM, was great.
That was perfect.
I'm a fan of MXM. I think
I like
it works
them a lot.
in AEW. It did not work, obviously, in WWE.
Yeah.
But in AEW, I'm like, this fits. And they showed a ruthless side these past few weeks. So I'm like, okay. I'm like,
yeah, it's a little bit different.
You can get a little angry. I like it. So our opening official match was Jay White versus Hangman. Solid singles match. Even though I hate Hangman, I do like Jay White. Jay White has.
I'm so glad Jay White's back.
Jay White ended up winning, which he needed.
Yeah, he finally won a match. He won a pay-per-view match.
Not that my opinion matters, but I thought this was the best normal wrestling match on the show. Like a good normal opener, like no weird gimmicks or Vince Russo run-ins or heel turns, just a good wrestling match. I was like, I'm good with this. I thought they both did great.
The finish I thought was really smooth, where Hangman's trying to do lariat,
and he got him into the, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, what does he call that?
That was good shit, pal.
Now I gotta look up Jay White finisher.
I only think of Sister Abigail when.
Is it the Blade Runner?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. The phrase "that's good shit, pal" it feels different saying it these days. I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
Feels.
Dude, I'm about to take a good shit, pal.
Oh
dude,
my God,
Andy.
Andy's been clenching this entire time.
3 brains.
All right. So, nice opener.
One of Andy's is always thinking about this shit.
All right, nice opener.
Prairie dogging.
People don't want to hear this either. Nice opener, Jay White beating Hangman Adam Page. No interference, just straight through, clean finish. Up next, we had Mariah May defeating Willow Nightingale for the Women's World Championship. Jeremy, what do you think of this match?
That was okay. I mean, it was decent for what it was. I mean, other than the part that they haven't done anything with her actual wrestling is like not bad. But I don't think I like Willow Nightingale better actually.
Yeah,
I think she's better like character and also wrestler overall. And also Willow kind of deserves something to win.
Yeah, I think but she didn't end up winning this one. Mariah May would retain, so still holding out hope for Britt Baker to become champ again. I don't know. I've always just liked her as the champion. Next, we had Jack Perry versus Shibata for the TNT Championship, in which the winner would be Jack Perry. This match was only like 10 to 15 minutes. It was probably one of the shorter ones.
Yeah, that was fine with me because of what happened afterwards.
So maybe that's why it was so short. Afterwards, I think I wrote this in the wrong spot. Again, there was not a pin during a sleeper hold. Afterwards, Perry would attack Shibata, in which Daniel Garcia, who before said all champions are on notice, would come out and save Shibata. Then we'd have a returning MJF, who was taken out at All Out by Daniel Garcia, and he would attack. He would cut a promo in which he would talk about being away, making lots of money in movies, aka Happy Gilmore 2. And then I believe he said he got his Dynamite ring back from the pawn shop that Daniel Garcia pawned it off at, in which Adam Cole's music would hit, and the crowd would pop.
Crazy.
He's staying at the top of the stage, and MJF, thinking that he's still hurt, would say, "What are you going to do?" Adam Cole would start booking it, in which MJF would run out into the audience. Did Adam Cole didn't get on the mic, did he? No, he was just yelling the whole time.
No, yeah,
At
he
MJF,
was just yelling,
right? And then did the Adam Cole Bebe pose.
He said it's all
Tim
about
watched
the
it more
boom.
recently than me. He did not say that, but Tim watched it more recently than me, and I think that's all that.
He said, and now that is undisputed. And then he walked out.
I was asking Tim, didn't
In
I ask you? I said,
2015.
what's the better theme song? His Undisputed Era theme song, or
The Undisputed Era by far.
yeah, I miss it.
Yeah, that's great.
One day he'll
Dude,
be back in WWE.
Adam Cole. No, dude, listen. Adam Cole in Black and Gold NXT as like the guy, like the Triple H kind of like he was the man. Dude, it was a time, and he was great.
Dude, when they brought it, remember when NXT was involved in Survivor Series and they brought him up and he had a match with Daniel Bryan, he had a match with Seth Rollins.
Well, do you remember what about the snowstorm happened? And Triple H and Shawn Michaels were like,
Smackdown.
It was Smackdown, and NXT took over, and they were like, "You might know him, Adam Cole, baby." And then they like pan the camera over,
and then it pans the show. Yeah,
dude, he was killing it. Then.
Which is cool because Daniel Bryan was there though, and Shawn trained Daniel Bryan, and so it was like my new protege versus my old protege.
Good times.
Okay, so Adam
but
Cole
his ankle is finally not exploded anymore. Yeah, it's nice.
Thank God. So the next pay-per-view is what? Full Gear?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that, we had a triple threat, a banger of a triple threat, I might add, but it was what you would expect it to be. You know, it wasn't slow pace at all. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Takeshita. Right from the beginning, both guys started attacking Takeshita together before going after one another. Takeshita felt like the powerhouse in this match compared to the other two.
Yeah, especially those few times when he like knocked both of them out, basically.
There was a lot of spots where it was like someone did something to someone, and then the third person would be waiting to do their like follow-up one. So it was just
that was pretty cool.
Bam, bam. A lot of that stuff. There were some table spots. Ricochet, Takeshita did that one move to him where he almost comes down like the one-winged angel.
Yeah.
And Ricochet was out basically for like the rest of the match, I think, after that. But
Yeah.
Ospreay took the pin, right?
Yeah, he
yes,
did. Yeah,
because
of,
triple threats have no rules, and there was an interference. Kyle Fletcher turned on Will Ospreay.
Yep.
And Kyle Fletcher now has a sleeve. I don't remember him having a sleeve unless he did, and I'm just not thinking about it. But
because Randy decided to go and get sleeves.
Class.
I think he did, but he just had it covered or something. I don't know.
Okay. Well, he
used the
screwdriver to
anybody doesn't know that
Yeah,
reference.
because Don Callis tried it.
Punk was supposed to get the cover of Inked magazine, and then they were like, "No, we want Punk," and then Vince McMahon was like, "No, you want Randy Orton," and then he was like, "They're like, no, we want CM Punk," and then they're like, "No, you want Randy Orton," and then he was like, because Randy decided to wake up one day and get sleeves.
All those skulls. So the winner and new international champion of that triple threat is Takeshita, which I don't remember who predicted. I think I did, possibly.
Okay.
I think I did. We'll have to go back. Someone fact check us. I think, though, it's a long time coming and well-deserved. He hasn't had a singles championship his entire time. And the way, remember he went from like a super babyface to where he is now. Fans were hyped. I mean, it's not like the fans booed.
He was having great matches to start.
Fans, even if he's with Don Callis, people like Takeshita.
Yeah.
So, happy for him. Also, you protect your new guy, Ricochet. He does not take the pin.
Yeah, I thought that was good, too.
Moving forward, we had a segment and not a match. Prince Nana came to the ring, brought out Swerve. So Swerve was returning. Now, he was saying he still has some nerve issues, but he is medically cleared. MVP and Shelton Benjamin would come out. And they Swerve says he's been watching and that he has a history with MVP, and they had a match on the Indies where he learned a lot, and they go way back. And then he was talking about the pros and cons of working with Nana. He has lost, but he also said, "But you are family." So he denied the management from MVP and Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin got on the mic and said it wasn't a question. Or did he say something else? Or he said we weren't asking.
It's like we were telling you.
I think Swerve ended up pushing Shelton, and then Shelton started taking off his suit jacket. And that split away. Fans probably thought that Bobby Lashley was going to come out, even though he is signed. He pulling the trigger.
They actually said that they were planning on having him come, but then they said there was already a lot of other things happening, so they saved it for a Dynamite now.
So Bobby is coming.
Oh, yeah.
He's signed.
Mm.
The Hurt Business used to be MVP.
You remember
Bobby,
when we
Shelton,
saw?
and Cedric.
Remember when we saw him and was it him and MVP or who was he with?
I don't remember. Him and MVP in the hotel. I thought it was.
But he was in the hotel.
It was Bobby Lashley and MVP, and they were eating.
A good hotel.
Yeah,
and then this weird ass, because no offense, we love wrestling fans.
Like, dude, do you know Bobby Lashley is
all right, guys, easy.
Go stalk them while they're having money.
He's like, look down there. I was like, all right, dude. Like,
all right. Both of you just immediately went into it.
We both
100%.
Eddie and I both knew which voice exactly what we were gonna do. Hey guys, let's move on.
And by the way, he didn't sound like that, but that was the vibe I was getting off.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. So, I don't want to say he was actually like that. So how do you guys feel about this whole MVP Shelton, Swerve, Nana? Swerve was saying Shelton paved the road for him, and he was a big influence. He paved the road for black wrestlers. If they make the Hurt Business work, or whatever the Hurt Syndicate, whatever they want to call it, work in AEW like it did in WWE, I mean, I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
But seeing a matchup like Bobby versus Swerve is so like I would never think of it.
Yeah, you would never have thought you were gonna see it really.
How about you, Tim? Swerve, the potential of Swerve and Bobby?
I think it's good, and I think it's awesome that you got two black men that are gonna be in a great like main event spot, and they're getting like showcased in front of a lot of people. So all it's a win all around. I'm excited for the. I didn't know that Bobby was like actually signed until just a minute ago when you guys told me. So I'm like definitely stoked about that.
One thing I was gonna say, and now I can't remember. Oh, I'm just so glad he's not doing anything with Hangman anymore. That they ended it with the cage.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Bobby Lashley having one with MVP down at the bar?
You said someone else was here, right? Was it?
It was like
at
their
the
girlfriend.
Hotel? No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
but that was such a fun.
Earlier,
I know that was probably the best weekend I had of wrestling.
Man, that was the
the
best.
It's WrestleMania. How do you make it better?
One of my favorite memories of that trip.
Shows.
I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite memories of that trip was this is so stupid, but me and Jeremy. Well, yeah, the car rides, but also me and Jeremy randomly getting day drunk and. Well, yeah, Andy
day drunk, walking through the club section.
But Andy was like, "Get over here, guys!
Over here."
Well, no, well, Andy or Jeremy and Jeremy and I got J drunk, and we all watched Royal Rumble in the hotel room and all passed out. That was a good memory.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
And then when Jeremy and I also got day drunk, and Andy was saying, well, we were at the venue. And Andy had to babysit us for like an hour before we sobered up a little bit.
Yeah, we broke Jeremy, or you broke Jeremy, because then for a little bit Jeremy couldn't watch wrestling without getting.
Yeah, that was too much at that point.
The Tito's and weed combo it's insane.
That's a great combo.
This is how I enjoy wrestling now.
I gotta save it for like the pay-per-views.
All right, let's go to the next match after that. Oh, go on.
No, I was going to say I've been back to that stadium since then, but I wasn't drunk, and I was like so stressed going into the stadium. I was like, I didn't feel like this when we went to WrestleMania.
It's the Tito's.
Now I think I know why.
It's the Tito's weed combo. It makes you feel like you can do anything. You can accomplish anything.
Except when I was in the Uber with you guys, and I thought the guy was going so fast, and I was scared.
Yeah, I was scared. Andy, how's your start?
Fine. I just want to talk about the next match.
Fine, let's move on.
I forgot about it until you brought it up. Now it's back. It's gonna stink.
Nice and good.
It will stink. How'd you guys feel about the next match? Darby Allin versus
anybody. If you haven't told your friends about this show yet, and you're a wrestling fan with some dark humor, you guys are. Tell your friend. All right, we're doing stuff. It stinks nice and good over here. All right, send your friends.
Oh my god.
So how'd you guys feel about the next match, which was Brody King and Darby Allin?
That was a good match. The spot where Brody tries to jump on Darby on the stairs and he just lands straight on the side of the stairs, I felt in my back.
When he does the coffin drop?
Oh, well, no, when Brody jumps first.
Oh, okay, because there was a spot Brody was laying on the stairs that was set up, and Darby did the coffin drop. Afterwards, so the winner was Darby Allin, who beat Brody King he pinned him because they fought in like a coffin match before, so it wasn't pinned. First time in AEW, Darby pinned him. They shook each other's hand afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim, did you enjoy this? Did you not enjoy it?
I did, and I like both guys. No, I like both guys, and I felt like it's the classic David and Goliath. You know what? Do you need to go use the restroom? Is that why you're being grumpy right now?
No. I should mention Darby. They were in Darby's hometown area. There was like before his actual music hit, there was like a video package of him like skating.
Andy, whatever is behind your head right now, like you have like,
like it looks like.
I keep thinking that you're like Cousin Skeeter or something. It's like so, like your hair is so tall. You look like a Simpsons character.
It's Bart Simpson. Fuck, dude.
I can't stop looking at it. Oh God, Andy, can you not sit there?
I'm just gonna go like this.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. I can't have you on video doing the other.
I'm like, yeah, Jim gave me a cut yesterday, actually. And, well, now I'm echoing in someone's thing. I don't know who got disconnected.
That was my bad. My AirPod fell out when I was laughing.
Like Tim's headphones get disconnected.
No, everything's good. It's just you just
like
right
Tim
now.
wanted to give me yesterday.
This is like Crooked Gerald for Bang Arnold. You look like a character from Doug.
Only took 45 minutes of the podcast for you to say something.
I don't know why I just noticed.
All the fans are like, or listeners are like, get on with it.
Watch on YouTube. You'll love it.
I will say on TikTok we hit 99 followers, which is nice.
Let's go.
Hey,
I want to break 100.
Whew.
But it seems we're.
You should just cut that clip of just us laughing then for like 30
you should
seconds.
just do you with
the
the
like follow us.
Just you with the Cousin Skeeter hair that you have right now, dude.
All right, let's move forward. Tag match, AEW Tag Team Championships, Young Bucks versus Private Party. Fans were kind of mad online that Bucks retained.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? That fans were that the Bucks should not be.
Yeah. Well, I did. So I did see someone tweet that at them and something like, Andy's moving his whole setup right now.
Oh, he's
taking the whole goes down.
Well, he sunk down. He sunk down a second ago, and it made it look like it was like way taller.
All right. Jeremy, talk to me about the Bucks and
Private. So they person tweeted at them saying basically like it would have been a good business move or whatever for Private Party for them to win, and the Bucks actually responded saying, "Doesn't work for us, brother."
Oh yeah, they said that's not going to work for us, brother.
Oh yeah, like Hulk Hogan.
I was like, you fucking dicks.
Yeah.
No. After that, we did not get the Nueve. Thank God. Chris Jericho lost to Mark Briscoe.
I can't wait for the Siete.
But once you get to 15,
No, he's the Nueve. He would be the Diaz next, right?
Yeah, but once you get to
all of our Spanish-speaking listeners are like, you fucking.
Yeah, once you get to like 16, it's like Diaz E 6, Diaz E 7, like Diaz E 8.
All right. I was gonna say I did.
In a bad Spanish accent.
This is gonna sound mean because it is what someone did to Chris Jericho, but they put a side by side of Chris Jericho and Mr. Krabs from
without his
SpongeBob.
shell.
Yeah, without a shell.
Yeah, when he took his shell off. Yeah.
Is that good?
That's all I have to say about the match.
By the way,
Is
was
that
there
how you
any?
like
Was there
it?
any? Was there any signs in the audience that stuck out for
in
you?
the old jars. What?
Was there any signs in the audience that stood out to you?
What'd you see?
During Ospreay's match, it said, "My autistic assassin."
Yeah, I saw that one.
And then,
Ospreay is actually autistic.
yeah, I know. That's why I was just
So
like,
that's like, I saw someone else have it. Like, it's actually like a nice one, but it was something about like him being autistic and them also being autistic. So,
and then
like,
I thought I saw a Jericho one, but maybe not. That's why I bring it up because we're talking about the Jericho match. Jericho, okay, so this storyline basically got ramped up when Jericho was, basically talked shit about Jay, right?
Yeah.
In promos.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what was exactly said. I don't know if you remember, but
he said that Jay was always better than Mark.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Well, during this match, Jericho would hit the Jay Driller, Jay's finisher. Mark did kick out of it, and then Mark would end up winning with Jay's finisher, which was a cool ending to this match.
Yeah.
All right, both of y'all, let's get into the main event. Bryan Danielson versus Jan. Tim watched it today, so Tim might be able to fill some holes.
I'm curious to see how, because we all watched it at different times. I watched it on Saturday night. Andy watched it Sunday. Tim watched it today, as in Monday when we're recording.
So before the ending, all right, let's talk about the match. I thought the match itself was good, except for the ending.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the match. It felt like a fight,
Yeah, it definitely was.
Obviously, they were selling the Danielson neck stuff, right?
Yeah, they were selling that a lot. Like the commentators were saying it, and Moxley was like purposely working on his neck.
So I enjoyed the match. Marina Shafir ripped up the mat on the outside for them to use.
The concrete.
Fans were super into it. Bryan Danielson in his hometown, home state.
Yeah.
At the Tacoma Dome. All right, so the ending of the match, though, let's just say the stipulation, unspecified stipulation, was when Bryan Danielson loses the title, he's retiring from full-time ring action. Not 100% action, but full-time ring career. Well, this match ended with Moxley. It was like a sleeper hold, right, on Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
Danielson did not tap. He did not get pinned. The ref called it. And
he passed out.
Reacted similar to like Undertaker losing to Brock.
Yeah, it was like, kind of a weird. Yeah.
But if you didn't like that ending, well, it didn't end there. So afterwards, the BCC, who was already, some of them were out there, but they would come out and they would attack Moxley, right? Or no, Danielson? They would start attacking Danielson, I believe.
Yeah, Danielson, yeah.
Wheeler Yuta and Darby Allin would come out to make the save. Wheeler would then turn and attack Darby, tie him up in the corner. So Wheeler turned and he put the plastic bag over Danielson's head.
He murdered him.
Again, this is the second time in like a month or two that they've put the bag over Danielson.
They've attempted murder.
This is the part where I just was like, all right, I'm out.
Oh, you already didn't like him retiring from full-time by not tapping out even? And his run being super short?
I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And then the plastic bag thing, I was like, this sucks.
Well, then after the plastic bag, they overkilled it, and they put a chair around his neck, and Claudio stomped on it.
So they murdered him.
After that,
they murdered him.
A lot of the locker room would come out. Daniel Garcia, Who else? Adam Cole came out.
Baby.
A couple names. And Danielson, the show went off with just like the arena kind of quiet and Danielson getting wheeled out.
Didn't JR say something? He said something really sad, and they're just like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, when he lost, didn't it sound like Excalibur was crying?
Yeah, Excalibur sounded like he was crying, basically.
Like his career was over.
Yeah.
I don't think people expected his title run to be 2 months.
It goes to show, though, that Daniel Bryan's a very giving performer, and for him to go out by giving back to the company and the storyline to help, in his mind at least, help put a guy like Wheeler Yuta over and stuff, and like he wants to help them. So in a weird way, it's the most Daniel Bryan ending, but at the same time, but at the same time,
it's funny.
You want it to be better for him.
Yeah, like to me, the ending at Wembley was like people said like with the ending at Wembley, him winning was like not what he wanted as a retirement thing, but that's what everyone wanted for him, and so we got that. And then him being basically murdered here is like what Bryan Danielson wants because he's a sicko.
Yeah, he wants. Andy's gone. He wants. What he wants.
It's just me and you, Tim.
We're flying the ship blind here. What he wants is to.
My headphones.
Andy, we were scared for a second. We were like, I don't know if we can do this.
It was like we were riding on a. Andy, we were riding on dark waves. We couldn't hear. Captain of the ship was gone. We got scared for a second.
Is my mic connected?
Nah,
very good.
Okay,
but
can you cut out part of this?
No,
it's good. Tim and I were talking this whole time.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Now I want to cut out me saying, "Can you cut it out?"
No.
Tim and I were just saying how scared we were while you were gone.
Yeah, it was like my dad. It was like my dad left me in the dark. I didn't know what to do.
So I will say there are people online that are like mad at Tony Khan for his booking for this, and so like you're an idiot if you don't think Bryan Danielson had a big say in how he went out.
Yeah,
he definitely did.
He's not just some guy in the back. Like he's a really he almost sometimes seems like second in charge to Tony Khan.
Tony Khan said if he got hit by a bus like today,
Danielson would take over. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that at a press conference or media scrum, which I have not watched this media scrum from this pay-per-view yet.
This one apparently is not much at all.
So could it have been better? Could he have just gotten pinned clean?
Yeah, but I guess like there'd be no.
There
still would be a story.
It was over.
Yeah, it was. I know they needed the Wheeler Yuta turn, but like I feel like they could have done that in a different spot.
You don't need to do the bag again. Just fucking chair shot him or something.
Yeah.
But people mad about it. It's just like I don't really get it. People saying it's the most WCW ending, which the whole locker room pouring out, and I guess it kind of is, but
I'm like I'll go back and say like this is horrible and like WCW-ish if like the storyline doesn't like if they don't make anything of this because they kind of have to, but like if it
know how they are the first show after pay-per-views, man.
I know it's always awful.
Cash in on what was done,
dude. It's like
so
the opposite.
If it turns out to be bad, then.
The WWE, like the first show after a pay per view, you're like, man, the show's gonna be a banger. AEW's like, this shit's gonna be bad. it's like the opposite after the big show.
Yeah.
So that's it though. All in all, the pay per view, I'd say solid. I didn't like the ending, but.
I felt like it was a different style pay-per-view too, because it wasn't just all matches. Like we had that swerve moment, we had MJF talking for like a little bit. Yeah, I thought these were like good changes.
I mean, the stuff has to mean something. You can't just throw these kind of segments in there, and all the extra stuff felt
needed.
important.
Yeah.
And I don't have a classic show of the week this week, but I will say that if even if you gotta, I'm not condoning it, but even if you need to find it online, it's worth checking out the end of Daniel Bryan's career, Bryan Danielson, just because he has given so much to wrestling and he's ending it on his terms. So even if you don't, exactly like how it ended, I think it's still something worth seeing and, to pay a little homage and honor a guy who has done a lot for wrestling. Andy is currently putting his hair back up on his door. Guys, this has been episode 150.
What are we doing anymore?
Please enjoy pro wrestling. Andy, please, for the love of God, bring me back through.
Oh my God.
Get a colonoscopy or something. We'll catch you all next week.